Hi, I'm Charlotte So Natural, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. We have been doing a lot of things around here that involve marking, and it occurred to me that maybe I should share some of our favorite markers and some of our favorite marking techniques. So, with that in mind, I'm going to start with the all-purpose Sharpie, which we love, but is not good for fabric. So don't use it for fabric, but use it for rulers. Yes, so if you want to write your name on your ruler, this is the thing to do. You know, it's permanent, but there is a way to get it off. You can use alcohol and get that off if you want to. Like, let's say you want to give it to your sister and you want to take your name off. So that's a good thing to have. We also have other permanent markers that are good for fabric, and they're designed for fabric, so that's what you should always check when you're going to sign something. Like if you want to do a wedding quilt or an anniversary quilt and you want a bunch of people to sign it, you need to make sure that your pen is designed to be permanent, that they aren't going to throw that table runner in the wash and it's all going to wash away. That would be sad. So don't use a regular ballpoint pen on that. You need to get a fabric pen. So this will mark, and this comes in a couple of different sizes. So you can see how easy signing your name is with that, and it is permanent, particularly if you iron it, it's good. So we also have another permanent marker. This is by Soline, and this is a brown pen, which is also good for if you're doing, like, say, vintage photographs on a fabric, transferring the photos to fabric. Then to have a brown or a sepia pen, we have a couple of different brands of that. They're available out there, different colors. So that's a good thing to have. Probably if you grew up sewing in home ec class, you were probably introduced to the Wonder Marker. We called this, it was the Blue Wonder Marker. This is a Mark Be Gone brand. They come in different brands, and this is a water-soluble marker. And so again, it draws nice fine line, but it disappears with water. This is a white marking pen. This is even better. Like, let's say you don't have a white back and you have a color. Now, it looks like I haven't drawn, but as I talk, you're going to notice that that line starts coming up. So you have to be a little bit patient with this pen and wait for it to dry. Sometimes people bring them back to us in the store and they say, this didn't work, and they pull out their sample to show me, and it's a big glob of white. It's like, yeah, I think it worked. You just brought it, you didn't wait for it to dry. So this is a great pen. We sell lots of these, white marking pen. This is the friction pen. Another thing, we sell a lot of these. This is a clicker version. Comes in a couple of different ones. We like this because it's refillable, and the refills come in different colors. This happens to be a red one. But the trick of this is that it writes like a regular pen, and then you can take an iron to it and it will iron away with the heat. You can also use it with an eraser, which is on the end of that, and the friction from the erasing the heat from the friction caused will make it disappear. So that is a disappearing friction pen. We have chalk markers. This has a wheel. Again, if you grew up doing clothes, you'll know that's a fine chalk line. That's really good for making marks when you need to curve, because the wheel curves really well. Also comes in a pen style, and we have several of those, different ones in different colors. Here's a blue one, here's a yellow one. This again makes a really nice line. This is makes a fine line with that. And we also have, like, the trusty old mechanical pencil that we all have. This is good to use if you are going to stitch over the line or cut away the line. This is good. You don't want to use this on the right side of the fabric because it's not necessarily going to wash away. It might, but it might not. Speaking of might not, we did find that the friction pen, every now and then you hear of a disaster. Of course, it's not on a small thing. It's not like on a little pillow that you could just remake. It's on a big thing. So there is a product, if you have that or you hear of somebody who has that, there is a product that's called Amadex, and that is a stain remover, an ink and stain remover. It comes in a liquid bottle, little wipes, and that has been known to take away a pen that you thought was going to be temporary and becomes permanent. I'm not saying to count on it, but that is something that's available. So we also have, the other tip is that if you're doing a project that needs to have marks, like you can see this has little holes in it, you need to make sure that your marker fits through the hole, so that if you are going to be making a whole bunch of those holes that you want it to be able to go through, that the barrel doesn't come down too far for the thickness of the template. So that is just my tips on that. I just want you to know that there are a lot of different products out there that are all pens. They act like pens, but they behave differently. But one of my favorite ways to mark things, actually more recently, is to actually just score it. Take my trusty seam ripper here, and you just run that seam ripper right along the edge of your ruler, and that has scored it. Now it presses up really quickly, and you iron it. And that is just like a neat tip. You can use that with applique, you can use that with hemming, you can use it with marking for casings. We've been using a lot marking casings for masks. So anyway, that's my new ISO for Fun seam ripper. And that's my tip today, Wisdom Wednesday. Have a good rest of your week. Thanks.